Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence?
And we are officially back. It's a Christmas fucking miracle. Holy shit, how long has it been?
I don't know, like 30 years?
Yeah, something like that. Guys, sorry we've been away for so long, but we've got a good one for you today. We just recently saw Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Luca, Phil, by the way, Phil's here.
Hello.
Our good old buddy Phil, you know him and you love him. What did you... Initial thoughts. Just two sentences or less.
I didn't hate it. It's not my favorite Star Wars movie.
That's two sentences.
That's it, yeah.
It's a decent film, but it's everywhere.
Okay. I would say... Not what I was expecting. I was entertained. It's fine. You can put the keys down.
I was entertained too, yeah. All right, so let's dive into this. Rian Johnson writes and directs this.
Which was a great move, but I have some issues that we'll get into later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to start off with?
Let's start from the beginning.
Okay, from the beginning, this is definitely not your daddy's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Not your, literally how Star Wars has had a formula with their, obviously, 3 different movies. Usually takes place. Rian Johnson just completely said, fuck you, I'm just going to make my own thing.
Yeah, if I had to give it a very overly generalized description of this movie, it was kind of like a slap in the face to,
The formula?
Yeah, completely.
Basically.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
It's just the execution.
Yeah, it's just like...
it could have been really good, but...
It's weird, it's fucking different, and that's what I feel like a lot of the fans are having such an issue with right now, is that it's so different.
Right.
Different doesn't automatically mean bad, guys. That's really not what it means. It just, it's not what you're used to, but this is how we get better movies in the long run.
Yeah.
You know, you got to start somewhere.
All right, so how do we feel about Luke as a character in this? In The Force Awakens, it ends with Rey, the most sexiest woman on the fucking planet.
Jesus, you and your days are really fresh.
Going to go see Luke in Ireland, and
so I'm British.
He goes to go see him in Ireland, and she hands him the lightsaber, and
it was this big swelling moment. The movie ends on that note. This movie starts off not specifically with that moment, but we come back to battle, we cut back to that moment.
It's probably 20 minutes in or something. 30 minutes in?
No,
probably
10 minutes,
I was going to say 10-15 minutes. But yeah, we cut back to that moment from the end of The Force Awakens. And what does he do?
Really fucking goofy.
He fucking chucks it.
He looked at it and was like, meh, and throws it over his shoulder.
It was funny and I laughed during that moment, but thinking back on it now.
It made the serious moment at the end of the first one that was like, oh snap, turned into, that's fucking funny.
Yeah. But I think that the way he throws the lightsaber, it is pretty comedic, whether you like it or not. The comedy is subjective. When you see you get the reason why he throws it later, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I understand that, but the fact of the matter is, with all the history behind that lightsaber, not only was it his not only was it his lightsaber, but it was his father's lightsaber.
Yeah.
And I get it, Darth Vader was a bad guy, but he wasn't a bad guy always, right? Because he came back to the light. So it's just
Yeah,
I really have a hard time believing that Luke Skywalker would be so fucking jaded and cynical that he's just like, yeah, no, I don't want this.
Yeah, because obviously I know, like, the movies are different from the books and shit, but this definitely didn't seem like the normal Luke Skywalker from books or even the original series, like, because from the original series Luke was more positive and
right,
we can do whatever.
And like I get it, he's been through some traumatic shit, you know, he lost his fucking hand and, you know, all of his students.
Well, it kind of makes sense. The older you get, the more fucking miserable you are.
Yeah, and that's pretty much how, you know,
too old for this shit.
I was gonna say that's pretty much how I feel at this point about not Star Wars, but like, you know, getting older and I'm watching these movies and I'm like, am I just like a cynical asshole and I just can't enjoy things anymore?
No, well,
because that's kind of how I felt coming out of this movie.
It's kind of like Luke is kind of like Stan in South Park when all, you know, like when a new movie comes out, all he hears is
right.
So bad.
You know what I mean? Like,
but there were a lot of moments like that in this movie
because
that,
even Mark
didn't
Hamill
hit well with me.
didn't like his character in this movie. Like when they were going through the whole filming and everything, he's like, "This isn't Luke Skywalker that I grew up playing." Until Rian Johnson talked to him about where the character's supposed to lead, I guess, into the next movie, and then Mark Hamill was like, "All right, I guess I'll take it."
Look, we're gonna make a lot of money.
And you're going to get a G5 airplane.
And then Mark Hamill goes, "You're telling me 30 years of this legacy is going down the drain
for a
G5 airplane and some money." And then Brian Johnson goes,
"That's exactly
yes,
what I'm telling you.
Some money."
That would be fucking great. And then he hits play and Applebot and Jesus playing on the set.
He just drops a bag of money and walks out.
Fucking Duels of Fate just starts playing in the background, just playing with a lightsaber.
But anyways, I think that him being cynical is fine. It's just I know I'm gonna keep going back to this word. The execution of him being cynical was kind of
like there was okay. Here's a really good example of how I feel about the humor in this movie, because I don't mind there being humor in the Star Wars.
Way too
That's
much.
fine, but you gotta understand when to cut the joke. Like, jokes are only funny for so long because the execution and because of the execution and the timing. When literally the first scene when Hux is on the comm with fucking Poe, and he's just like, "Yeah, no, I'll wait. I'm waiting for General Hux. This is General Hux. Yeah, no, I'm still waiting for General Hux." Like, he did it 3 times, and then after it like wore out its welcome, then they just resorted to a "your mom" joke.
I was
like, tell him I have a message for his mother. It's like, oh, okay,
We
that's hilarious.
I was fine with the stalling.
Yeah.
The "your mom" joke killed it for me.
Exactly.
I was totally fine.
I don't mind
with
there
it.
being humor. That's fine. Just, you know, don't resort to like middle school
It
bullshit.
could have been like, "Oh, okay, just wanted to stall you until I got there. Thanks, bye."
And then boom, shot. You know?
Hux was like, jammed! Sorry, no.
It's like it was a fucking ruse.
It's a ruse.
But
No,
it's just, it's stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, it's...
I would say the best joke, in my opinion, though, like my favorite moment, not like of the entire movie, but like of humor, was when Luke told Rey to reach out with the Force.
Yeah.
And she legit just reaches out with her hand. He's like,
You feel
you
that?
feel that? It's the fucking Force!
Just
No,
snaps
you
her.
dumb bitch!
That made me laugh. Another scene that made me laugh too, and I thought it was pretty
The
funny.
Chewbacca one?
I don't remember that
The
one.
one where he's
No.
eating the pork?
No,
They
And all
drew
the
that
Force
out
are
way
like,
too long.
no.
He's like, "Stop. I'm trying
No,
to eat it."
I'm trying to eat your friend.
The part where fucking when I almost forgot what the fuck I was gonna say. When Luke goes, "What do you think the Force is?" And then she was like, "Lifting rocks, telling people what to do." I mean, that was funny. That made me laugh. I was like, "Yeah."
He's like, "Yeah, that's not it."
In a nutshell, yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that we're able to reminisce so well about this movie as opposed to, tearing
People
it to
that are
fucking
tearing
shreds.
No,
I do have a lot of issues with the movie.
Can I just say, maybe we can start talking about this?
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll start getting into it soon.
All the subplots to this were fucking useless.
Yeah. No, I agree.
They were fucking useless.
Yeah, like the whole getting the fucking hacker.
The master code breaker.
Man.
That was a waste.
Well, I was really disappointed that it wasn't Chris Jericho.
I would have fucking went.
That
into
was
it,
like
yeah.
such a waste of I don't know how many minutes of my fucking life.
It was not. It was.
Could have just
good.
got to the.
It's like, I get it. Rich people are bad.
Like it could have been.
That was
simple.
so. It was so random.
Could have
Yeah.
been simple. It could have just been.
It's like, what does this have to do with Star Wars?
The only thing that I enjoyed about it is when
I was gonna say, if
Benicio?
you say Benicio del Toro, I'm gonna fucking slap
no
you.
the one line he had in it when he
Maybe.
no not that when he was talking about Oh.
Maybe.
no shut up no when he was talking about selling equipment and he was like, we sell to both sides.
Yeah.
He was like, so
He's like, "You're a
they
fucking
need
idiot."
you know what
It's
I
like,
mean?
oh,
Like,
that
I
thing
did
that we
enjoy
do in like every movie about like good and bad, and there's some gray in between.
He's
Yeah,
like-
I get it.
He's like,
Yeah,
"There's no
I
good
thought
and
it was,
bad."
I thought
It's
it was
like,
cool
whoever
for a
wins
Star
just
Wars.
wins.
I thought it was cool for a Star Wars movie to have that
Yeah.
kind of.
And you know what? That probably would have worked a lot better in like one of the spin-off movies. Like,
yeah, I guess. Maybe
like, if there was
maybe
in-
like Rogue One.
I was gonna say, I feel like something like that would have worked really well in like the Han Solo movie.
Like
Right.
I had
Okay.
no problem with like Benicio del Toro's character, except
It's just that he didn't have one.
yeah, except like because I know he's probably not even going to be in the next one.
Probably not,
It was
honestly.
basically you got
really
a really
see
good
DJ
actor
coming back.
and then bye.
He'll
Yeah.
die. He'll die in the beginning. They'll Count Dooku his ass in the beginning.
There was just a lot of
You
missed
betrayed us.
opportunities in this movie.
Oh fuck!
He'll be fucking general in the next one. For
Right?
some reason.
Because that's exactly what happens in
He's
every
like,
Star
"You're
Wars
gonna
movie.
get
The
us."
rogue scoundrels just like,
he'll be general, and the next one flying his ship. It's like, remember him? He betrayed us. And then
Fuck.
Finn or his Asian friend will just blow him up.
right.
Then that'll
But
be him.
I was gonna
That
say,
relationship was fucking worthless.
well,
dude.
hang on. We'll get into that.
Oh,
I was gonna
Christ.
say there was a lot of missed opportunities in this movie, and that kind of leads me into like the bad. So, I mean, we haven't really given away too much. So I guess I'll give the spoiler warning here. If you haven't seen The Last Jedi and are planning to, probably stop here,
I mean, it's
go
been-
watch the movie, and come back.
It's been 2 fucking weeks
Yeah,
already. So
Yeah, you
But-
kind of suck if you haven't seen it in 2 weeks. Sorry.
but like I said, here's your spoiler warning
Someone's
because
like,
we're
"I know
definitely
that."
getting into it. All right, guys. So, how do we feel about? And it's kind of hard to talk about because I do feel bad in some ways, ripping on this, but Princess Leia and the whole Mary Poppins bullshit.
Could have just threw that in there. That
Why?
would've been great.
Why didn't they just let her die in that scene?
you know what? Actually, going back to that,
Like, I understand.
don't-
I can
That
see
scene-
why they kept her alive for the story.
Sorry.
Yeah,
They
like,
kept her alive for the story because of Ben. Because Ben didn't want to kill her. His fucking little compadres killed her. And then I think kind of like once he realized in the Force that she wasn't dead, he was kind of like, huh.
right. And that's fine, but what I'm saying is, with there being no way of Carrie Fisher coming back for the next one,
I was gonna.
why not just pull the trigger on that?
I'll fix it right here.
Uh-oh.
Don't have that stupid floating space scene. It was dumb.
Right.
It didn't ruin the movie for me, but it was pretty dumb. Don't have that stupid floating space scene.
Or have a better song.
Have her be Laura Dern's character and have everybody leave, and she's
And
the
she
one on the
stays behind.
ship.
Exactly.
And then
They had
she
like
sacrifices
5
herself.
different. Well, no, there was more like 3. There were 3 different times where they could have killed her off in this movie,
Yeah.
and it would have worked perfectly fine in any of them.
Yeah.
You know, to have her sucked out into space
Would've worked.
would have worked just fine, because then it's like it would have set up Kylo to be fucking like well, shit, maybe I'm on the wrong side, and like further planting the
Yeah.
seed of doubt for his eventual turn because we all know it's coming.
Mhm.
You know, so there could have been that, or she could have died, you know, like you said, having sacrificed herself like Laura Dern's character, or she could have died on on one of those ships.
Did
on
Laura
one of the
Dern's
escape
character
ships.
die? I forgot.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I forgot.
She fucking. Oh my wa. Oh shinderu.
Oh yeah,
Fucking-
she
the
went.
fucking ship.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm sorry,
was
I
a
forgot
great
because the
scene.
movie was 9 hours.
That was like probably one of the
That was-
coolest shot scenes in the movie.
And that was a huge issue that I had with the movie. Not that scene, but like this whole movie was just like awesome scene, bullshit. Awesome scene.
That's what killed me.
bullshit.
That's honestly what killed me.
They could have gave.
This movie could have been an hour and 45
They
minutes.
could have like gave
No,
Leia
at
like.
least 2 hours.
No, I'm saying like
Oh.
based on like how much bullshit filler was in between the cool shit.
Yeah, because like
Because the awesome scenes were really
oh,
awesome.
no,
Yeah.
they were great.
There was some fucking awesome. We'll talk about
Oh,
those
yeah.
later. But
Yeah.
those there were some fucking awesome scenes.
Because like with killing off Leia, they could have done the whole thing where she got ejected into space, and then obviously everyone felt bad, so they picked up her body. They could have done like the whole like space burial thing, and everyone could have
Right.
been sad, like from episode 1 when fucking Qui-Gon was set on fire,
Exactly.
and been done with that. Or they could have done
Like
the hyperspace fucking death scene.
right.
that would have been
been
such a that would have been
great.
such a good exit. I think.
And a lot of people, I don't know. I feel like somebody's probably gonna give a shit because it's like, oh, you guys don't like Leia using the Force. I'm fucking fine
No,
with
because
her
I'm
using
pretty
the Force.
sure if
She's
I'm not
been
mistaken,
Force sensitive since
Luke,
episode
Luke
6.
actually
confirmed, I
in the
think.
story, not I don't think in the movies, obviously, but in the story, Luke taught her how to use the Force somewhat.
Was that canon anymore?
Not
I-
anymore. I think
Well,
that's
I
just
don't know if
Legends.
they're going by. Obviously, they're not going by the books, but
Yeah, the
books
only
are
things that
technically
are-
canon.
No,
No,
but
no, no. There are certain books now that are canon.
Yeah, because anything past a
Well,
certain
Ryan ruined it now.
Ryan, all right, go on.
Okay, well, since you brought up Ryan Johnson, that's actually something that I wanted to talk about. I feel like this movie, like I said before, was kind of a slap in the face to,
The
you know,
formula.
the formula, which I get, but maybe instead of having brought on Ryan Johnson, because they're bringing him back for the next one, maybe they should have kept J.J. Abrams.
No, he is going to be for the next one.
I know, that's what I'm saying. They're bringing him back for episode 9, so it's
Yeah.
just like, so now this movie is Ryan Johnson's movie, and it
And now
has,
JJ's like, fuck, now I gotta go
right.
off
So
of that.
everything that J.J. Abrams set up in The Force Awakens was slapped right the fuck down in The Last Jedi.
He was reaching for
only
something,
for
and Ryan
JJ.
went, no.
Exactly, only for JJ to come back for episode 9. So it's just like, it's gonna be, it's because they both have their distinct tone and style, and it's gonna be weird to go from one to the other back to the
Yeah.
other.
Well, my issue is this: he pretty much trimmed the fat out of
A lot of fat.
out
Yeah.
A lot of
He
fucking
like a
fat.
Finn has nothing to do
Exactly.
the next episode. Poe really has nothing to do next episode.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
Poe now is gonna be like the actual fucking.
Yeah,
I think what's gonna happen in the next one, to be honest, obviously they're gonna kill off Leia because there's no fucking footage.
I'm not even really excited for the
and
next one
I
now.
think
I don't even think they're
Poe
gonna kill
is
her
going
off.
to lead the rebels.
Yeah,
I think that's what's gonna happen.
they're gonna write her off in
Like
some
some-
cheesy way, like, you know. I don't know. I feel like they're probably gonna write her off, like, oh, you know, she was off on a diplomatic mission and it went south.
Yeah, I think Poe will be the commander, and then I think Finn's somehow going to be some sort of leader. With I don't think it's going to be obviously like an X-wing pilot or whatever.
Commander.
I think he'll be a ground force guy.
Commander.
We need your help.
No,
Finn.
I rather them write her off than have a
No, that's what they
Uncanny
need.
Valley.
Right.
They're gonna do.
Oh God!
They're gonna do a Tarkin.
Oh no! Oh no!
Let's
You're
just
a
not.
skeleton.
It
You're a
looked,
skeleton.
it looked really bad in Rogue One.
I like this
so
better
let's just
than
not
Rogue
do
One.
it again.
I did like
Oh,
this
yeah,
better.
definitely.
I did like this better than Rogue One.
But
Oh yeah.
okay, so let's move on to like the next big thing.
How
How do we feel? Go ahead.
I have to say this.
ahead.
I'm sorry. Rogue One compared to like the Last Jedi, it's like decent looking girl with crazy problems, and Last Jedi's like a lot of crazy problems, but kind of really hot.
Yeah.
So
It's like, all right, you're good because you got yeah. It's like, I like you.
it's like you're awesome, but you're crazy.
But what are we hitting on next?
I was gonna say, do we want to just go straight for it and talk about Rey's parents or lack thereof?
I kind of really like that.
Still don't know.
I think we got an answer.
It's not that we don't know; it's that it doesn't fucking matter.
I don't know if there is an answer or if maybe Ben knows and he just said, "I'm gonna fuck with you," and your parents
Could
can
be.
jack shit.
It could be that. I mean, with J.J. Abrams coming back now, it's like, you know, he can circle back to his own idea of whatever the fuck he had planned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I look at it.
I'm just annoyed. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
I was just gonna say I'm just annoyed because there was so much setup for no fucking payoff.
I kind of like that in a way because the internet was kind of freaking out about it, and then he kind of just went, "Yes, there were just some people. There's a right way to troll people."
That was
that's
a great way to troll people.
That's not the right way to
He was
troll
like,
someone.
"Oh, you guys have so many theories. I'm about to take a shit on all of them."
Hold on, real quick, while I spread my cheeks.
You guys like that guy? Well, he's going away.
Why are people so mad that Snoke died?
Because everyone wanted him to be this big thing because everyone was like, "Oh, you know what?
Everybody was so
He
mad."
turned Ben to the dark side and yada yada yada," and then just for it to be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
but
guys.
but if you give him a story, he's too much like the Emperor.
No, but guys, you have to
know what I mean?
understand.
You can't
the
fucking
reason-
you can't win with these people.
No, you can't
At all.
because they're like,
You're never
"Oh
gonna win."
man, The Force Awakens was too much like A New Hope," and you're like, "All right."
Now that this
Now
one's
this-
different,
Now this one's different. Oh, this isn't like Empire Strikes Back.
This is the
What
worst
do you
Star
want?
Wars movie ever made.
this is not the worst Star. Like I know
Negative.
you're kidding. This is not the worst Star
You
Wars movie
clearly
ever
haven't
fucking
seen
made.
1, 2, and 3.
This is far from the worst Star Wars movie ever made.
but like, I was gonna say the fanboy rage. I'm not saying that it's called for, but I understand it because I felt a lot of that coming out of this movie too. Not to the
like
same
your mom
fucking
told you there
degree.
was candy, but
like-
there's no candy.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if Star Wars,
I like candy. Though.
Star Wars to me is like Spider-Man and the Punisher. People like their Spider-Man a certain way.
Mhm.
People like their Punisher a certain way.
Right.
People like their Star Wars a certain way. If it's not that certain way, it sucks. That's basically
Yeah,
it.
that's how everybody feels when things don't go their way, especially when it comes to Star Wars. But it's just there was so much potential there, and to just completely no sell it, to me is just. I feel like
In my opinion,
it kind of fucked me as a fan.
I thought it was a good thing. In my perspective, because being that you have a lot of big characters to already play with, because going into the movie you had Luke, Leia, Rey, Finn, Poe, Snoke. Did I say Kylo already?
I don't think so.
I don't think I said
so.
Kylo.
Actually, I think you said Ben.
Best character in the movie, by the way.
But you have
Oh,
all
yeah,
those characters
absolutely.
to play with, and then you want a backstory on Snoke, and then you want him to have a bigger role. Then you want to know who fucking Rey's parents are, and then if Rey's parents play a role, then you have to play with all these characters in the final movie. You're gonna be like, it's all over the place.
Yeah, and I get that, but like, here's my standpoint on it. If there was gonna be no payoff, why set it up in the first place?
Surprise!
This is not a good surprise.
No,
It's like a really nice god damn it, I almost pulled the fucking mystery box bullshit. I was gonna say, it's like you wake up Christmas morning, which is in a couple fucking days. You wake up Christmas morning, and you got this big fucking box just sitting there in front of the tree, and you're like, I want to open that one right there.
Oh, that ain't
and you
yours.
open it up.
then there's dead parents inside.
I was gonna say, you open it, and there's a dead dog. That's what I was gonna say.
Well,
Mom, there's doo-doo in here.
Dad. No,
just
but
like, what the
I mean,
fuck?
look, I didn't mind.
I don't need Rey's parents to be some big name fucking character. I don't need Rey's parents to be or I don't need her father to be fucking Obi-Wan. But if you're gonna fucking say, hey, be ready, Rey's parents, you're gonna find out who it is in the next movie because we didn't tell you in the first one.
Pokemon.
Yeah, and then we get there and it's just like, it's nobody.
Yeah, I mean,
look, what the
I mean,
fuck?
it would have just been cool if they were just like, yeah, you're just a character that was born out of the Force.
Right, exactly. Why
I
do I do
did-
that
Wow,
again?
easy.
I did
That was
like
Anakin Skywalker.
I did like
Right.
that. I did
Like, she
I-
doesn't have to be a Skywalker. She does,
That's what I enjoyed about it. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, she's just somebody,
right.
which is fine. But
There were
I-
other ways to go about that.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
yeah,
better ways to go
look,
about it.
okay, so I actually want to talk about Snoke now. 'cause
Yeah, I want to hit on that
Okay.
shit too.
I didn't give a shit that he died. I really didn't care. Because look, all right,
He went out
thinking-
like a
like you-
fucking bitch.
Well,
no,
It's great
I was
because he
thinking,
got tricked.
I was thinking about this. Kylo Ren, Luke saw how dark Kylo Ren is, right?
Right.
And how powerful he is. You have Snoke, who's like, this guy's my bitch. I have
Right.
him. It's whatever. I got him. Even says basically in his face, he ain't gonna do shit. He ain't gonna do shit.
It's pretty much what he did.
So then Kylo was like, all right. So then he fucking, he guts the bitch. Like,
Yeah.
but I really enjoyed that because it's kind of a spin on the whole Emperor Vader relationship. They didn't save it to the end because I
Right.
guarantee if you save that to the end, you're gonna have
It was a really good display of the rule of two
yeah.
and how that ends.
Literally,
up.
the
Yeah,
rule of
that's
two.
true.
He was split
I
in
didn't think
two.
about it.
Because in all the other Star
Alright,
Wars
fuck
movies,
you and that fucker.
you
split
you
too.
never see anyone betray the Emperor.
The face he
You
made,
never
though.
see anyone betray Darth Maul,
Mm-hmm.
Dooku, nobody. And then finally in this movie, you get to see the apprentice kill his master, and he becomes
As
the
it
master.
should be.
There-
with the Sith.
And then,
but, I mean,
and then
technically
moving,
they weren't
moving
Sith
on,
either.
moving on to the next scene that really kind of pissed me off because I'm like, oh, I wish they went this way. Why didn't Rey join forces with Kylo? That would have been so fucking interesting.
It would have been.
And then
It
they
would've
do
been
like a double
interesting.
switch.
It would have been interesting, but then
I was like-
what would have happened is the story would have immediately went from being about Rey and Ben to, all right, well, Luke's staying around for the next movie because now the story's about him.
I guess you don't have.
Yeah.
I guess you don't have a protagonist.
Yeah, I was
then.
gonna say without.
But I'm just saying, like you know, at like in the heat of the moment, I was watching the scene. I'm like, oh, I wonder where this is gonna go. It's actually
Yeah.
pretty interesting. You know, like the kind of like the if Luke joined Vader, you know.
Yeah.
What I was like, oh, so they're doing kind of everything opposite in a way, which is kind of new. You know, it is new.
Yeah, no, it would have been
Yeah.
a good idea if Luke was
But
like,
then
the
you
main
wouldn't-
part of the
but then
story.
you wouldn't have a
but then
yeah.
you would have had Force Awakens, which pretty much was about Rey, just thrown out the window.
Right.
Right.
Because then you're like, oh, okay, so this is just still about Luke the whole time.
Yeah.
All right. I want to move on to the next kind of
Fights.
weird-ish moment that kind of messed with me a bit. What the fuck was up with Laura Dern just being a bitch?
Oh, you mean how she should have just told Poe that, oh, we have ships and they're gonna
Right.
we have another base.
That whole subplot was
That
based
actually
solely
kinda
around
pissed
the
me
fact
off.
that she just didn't say anything.
It was,
I
it
ain't
was,
saying
it was
anything.
basically
It's
a
a
whole
secret.
plot just to see how Poe would react. Like, oh, I like him.
Right.
I'm gonna disappear.
Exactly.
I mean, he could have been a huge asset. She would have
But-
told him.
Here's something interesting that I want to
Oh,
hit
that was
on.
your plan?
Since we have you here, Phil, you're in the Marine Corps.
Yes.
Being a member of the armed forces, how exactly did that make you feel? Because that's something that happens all the time.
Yeah, because I mean, technically,
How did-
obviously, him going up.
No,
to
no,
the-
I'm serious. Like, this is
I
actually...
know.
I thought about this earlier today, and I was just like, huh. I mean, as a...
Like, if you just tell someone, like, what you're gonna do, because obviously that's the person below you, like...
Yeah, like,
you
you're not
coulda just
obligated to do
Could've
that,
just...
though.
Oh, no, you're not obligated to do that, but at
But
the
do you
same
feel like
but at the
it's
same
better or
time-
worse to...
'Cause, I mean, technically it's insubordination, but obviously you knew what Poe's intentions were. He didn't want the rebels to die.
Right.
Oh, when you put it in ranks, it makes sense.
So-
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It
Yeah,
hit me
so-
this morning because I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Phil's gonna be on." I was
Yeah,
like,
but it's a
"Oh,
fucking
right, rank."
Yeah, but
It's a thing.
just fucking start.
But-
Just fucking say it. He's causing so much trouble.
Yeah.
Just say it while
Like-
he's in jail.
like, if you
know,
could've
I
just
had
been
that other
like-
base.
Because when somebody gets so concerned about something like that's going on in the Marine Corps, like something, if like an event's going down, like, oh, well, we're taking care of it, and someone starts like freaking out about it, like, no, we need to know because obviously this needs to be taken care of. Then eventually, like, they'll give it, all right, this is what we're gonna fucking do. Like, then you're like, oh, okay, so now I can just go do my shit,
Right.
and we'll be all good. Why did you make that so difficult?
Exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
so no matter what, it's still the same. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
all I wanted to know because I was
What-
like, maybe during like the whole chain of command thing makes this make more sense, but it's just like it seemed completely superfluous because it was just like
It was just a dick
just
measuring
say
contest.
something.
That's all it
She was a
was.
bitch that just had a big dick.
That whole subplot could have been solved like
yeah, because she
40 minutes
obviously she
earlier.
was like a big asset prior to the rebels.
She was an asshole.
because she
Yeah.
was.
I like the
She's
actress.
been in so many
but-
battles, so she's like a battle hardened like
Right.
commander or whatever. So
Yeah.
she's like, I know what I'm doing. Chill the fuck out.
Oh.
And then Poe's like, nah, I've done some shit too. I know what I'm doing. Like, can you just tell me? And she's like, nah.
Okay.
She's like, trust me.
Okay.
And he's like, I don't trust you.
Oh.
Trust me. I don't trust
I
you.
never
Okay.
worked for you, dog.
All right. So what pissed you off more? That she didn't tell him the plan, or when Finn was driving himself into the beam, about to actually do something in the movie, and
That he had done
And-
nothing of the entire
and
time.
the Asian lady who looks just like Bobby Lee, freaking, she does look like Bobby Lee.
Sarah Lee.
She
Oh my god.
she freaking rams her ship into his, which could have killed them both.
I was gonna say that could
And then-
have fucking killed
and
them.
then looking at him and saying, "Love can save us all," while that beam is killing her friends right behind him.
I thought it was like in hindsight, I thought it was hilarious that like as they kissed, it just it's like I get it. It's the spark that they didn't have.
You can hear people like the rebels being killed in the back, like, "What the fuck?" Just really pissed.
Like, obviously,
was so
yeah,
bad.
that would have killed off Finn, but at least it
Honestly,
would've-
that was prequel
that would have been
status
that would have been
a little bit.
Yeah,
like a
that's what I'm saying. This movie to me, not that it didn't have any fucking balls, because clearly
It
it took
did.
a lot of balls to make a lot of the decisions that they made with it. But like, there was such potential and so many things that they could have done that they just didn't. They should have killed Leia off. Honestly, they should have killed Finn off in that scene, because what the fuck else is he gonna do for the rest of the?
He
for
should
the
have
next
died
movie?
right there.
he's gonna be he's gonna be one of those those characters that goes off and does a side mission in the last movie.
He's
We
gonna
need a broom. We
He's
need to
gonna,
go to this
he's
place.
gonna
Get
be
us a broom.
he's gonna be Han in part 6, just standing in
So-
front of a door.
Like, you could have killed him off. You could have killed him off with a purpose, like a
Exactly.
good purpose, and
Right, because that would have been such a crazy, like, meaningful moment for him as a.
I guess the
Coming
Captain
off of
Phasma
being a-
moment.
that was
I
fucking
guess that was
bullshit.
the. Like, I'm guessing that was the meaningful moment
That
when
was
she.
You
bad.
can't see my face, but the second he
Ugh.
said Captain Phasma, oh my
I was
fuck.
so mad
Captain
about that.
Captain Phasma
Why?
Captain Phasma as a character. It's like when you have.
So
It's like
wasted.
when you were
Because
little.
how did they like kill her off in the first one? I forgot.
You
Oh,
guys
when
have
you
a
get
trash
close-
compactor?
when
yeah,
the-
we do.
Yeah.
I hated that line. No, I was
So
gonna say
bad.
Captain Phasma as a character is like when you had a birthday when you were a little kid, and like you know how you have like your best friend and like you have your other friends. He's like she's like your ninth shitty friend. You're like, oh, you're here too. I forgot. Like, you know, you're having a good time, kind of. And you're like, oh,
Yeah,
you're
like
here.
she shows up in the movie, and you're like, "Oh shit, you're
Here-
still alive!"
Right, and it's like,
And
oh
then
shit,
what
it's
As soon
about
as
to
she
go
showed up,
down.
I was like, oh, we gotta resolve this. I forgot.
It's like, yeah, shit's about to go down
And it
for
got
2
ruined.
seconds.
I was confused about her line.
Which one?
When was she hunting him?
No. Not
Because
that I know of.
I thought she said something like, "Oh,
Well,
you got
in-
him trapped." Oh, I was looking for. I forgot what
in
the
the
fuck she
in the
said.
first
No,
movie,
she's-
she was because
Did
pretty
she
much
work with
pretty much she
Benicio?
was she was hunting him because technically in her eyes he was her mistake.
Right.
because she wasn't, or Finn wasn't a programmed,
Yeah.
brainwashed one.
Because
I
like
don't
she had,
So
she trained them personally.
she, whatever the fuck it is, Phasma.
Doesn't matter.
Wanted to fix the
Dead
mistake.
again.
And
She'll be back in the comics
And then
somehow.
pretty much during the fight scene, she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fix you," and bat.
Yeah, Finn gets his ass kicked again.
Shiny Stormtrooper ruined.
Yeah, but you know what I noticed? I've watched a few reviews, and it's been pointed out a couple times to me now. They made sure to show that her fucking suit is heat resistant, because
Oh
it
shit!
deflected the fucking blaster bullet. It just went.
Which was great.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Like you
So-
have
She's
this bad.
yeah. She's not dead.
She's fucking.
I
She
hope
fell
not.
into the fucking fire, and it's like, oh, because her suit's heat resistant. She's just gonna walk out. She'll be back
She'll be
for
back in
more
the-
fucking
Wait, but didn't
bullshit.
that ship explode?
What
Yeah,
ship?
probably.
The one that they were on?
Weren't they on the
Finn?
ship?
Dude, the Star fucking Killer base blew up, and she was on it. She didn't
Yeah.
fucking die
Holy
there
shit,
either.
she was fucking on it.
Yeah.
She's
You're
the
right.
she's like the Mustafa
So
from,
if
I'm
Lost
bad
and
in
Found.
breath, but I'm still
if JJ decides to bring her back, please give that character a
She
good
saw-
fight scene.
Take
She's-
off the mask.
She saw
Yeah,
she saw Finn and she had that fucking like da
because like what you can do now, since he left that mark on the fucking mask, like
right.
have her take off the mask and have the scar on the face and be
Exactly.
like, "I'm gonna get you back, you little dick."
She had that Jason Voorhees Friday
You know
the
what you can
13th
know what you can do in the next one? Because obviously the movie's got to end on a good note.
Right.
Have Phasma kill Finn.
How is that gonna end on
I
a
feel
good
like
note?
that's the
No,
opposite
because-
of what you
because
just
obviously,
said.
That's,
like-
that would be good
No,
for racists.
because out of like all the battles that are going to take place, obviously the good people are going to win.
Yeah.
Have one fucking L
Yeah.
on
Somebody.
the good guys. Like have one loss. Have Phasma actually kick the shit out of her
Yeah, because,
subordinate and kill him.
you know, this
and
is
then
supposed-
have the ship blow up and be like, "Oh, well, I'm fucked."
Yeah, I was gonna say because like the middle story or the second one is typically supposed to be like, you know, the protagonist at their darkest moment, but it really wasn't.
No.
This had
They
an ending.
won. They won 2 battles in a row.
This
Yeah.
had an ending. Maybe the third one's gonna end shitty.
I don't know, man. What
That'd
the
be so
where the
fucking
fuck
funny.
are we gonna go? from
Because
here?
like, I get
I'm-
it. Everyone
I'm
likes seeing the
excited.
good guys
Fuck.
win, but somebody has to fucking lose. One of the
Yeah.
good characters needs to go bye-bye.
And yeah, you're right. I feel like it kind of needs to be Finn, or it should have fucking
Because
been
like
in this
Finn
movie.
at this point, what is like? You're right.
I
What
feel
is
like
he?
he's
What
fulfilled
purpose
his
is he gonna
arc.
have in the next one?
Can we talk? All right, so we covered Finn. We covered the subplots, how useless they were.
The fight scene.
No, I wanted to talk about Yoda.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's start
Oh,
getting
yeah,
into some
there's
good
Yoda
shit.
First.
Yeah.
So, fucking, can we, real quick, when you first saw him, he looked like shit, right?
He did.
For 2 seconds?
Then the second shot was phenomenal.
What the fuck happened? They're
I don't
like,
know.
they put in CG Yoda for 2 seconds. It was like, gotcha.
Ryan looked at it and was like, "Nah, that's not it. Let's get a puppet."
Right. Like, why'd they leave that in the movie?
I don't know.
Did they just
it might
want to
have
fuck
been-
with the fans? Like, you thought he was going to be CG, now we're going to use a puppet.
I don't know.
Like,
Maybe
what
there's
the
too much
fuck
movement. I
was
don't
that?
know.
But it was awesome seeing Yoda in this fucking movie.
It was, yeah.
It was
It was a pretty cool. It was a cool moment.
Because
And,
Yoda,
and,
like,
and because like the way that he was talking to Luke, he's like, "Listen, man," he's like, "Your time's just fucking done."
yeah.
He's like, "Just do what you need to do to set things right," and
It was great
Chill
because it was a different side of Yoda that we kind of haven't seen before. Because, like, you know, Luke's, like, being this all cynical, fucking cranky bitch. And he's just like, I don't like the Jedi anymore. Wah! And then Yoda's like, listen,
like-
man.
he's like, "The
I
Jedi
get
don't
it."
need to exist."
He's like,
"I don't know."
let me level with you real quick. I get it. How about we just fucking start over?
Yeah. He's like,
Yeah, he
"The Je-
burned his
He's like, "The
books and
Jedi
everything."
don't need to exist." He's like, "I kind of told you that in, like, the original 3.
Yeah.
He's like, "There's
Yeah.
just the force of good."
Yeah, then
Exactly.
He burned his books.
His tree.
Yeah,
Oh,
fucking
oh
tree.
shit! The books are
Oh,
nice.
shit, the books
How
are in-
great would that have been?
No, it's good though
He's
because
running in.
in my eyes, I think I know how the last movie's gonna end, because if you already saw the movie, what happens at the end, it's a quick little scene. It's probably about 5 seconds.
Yeah, a lot of people probably missed it.
Rey saved the books that were in the tree.
Yeah,
So
took
she
them before
saved all
she
the
left.
original Jedi Codex.
So Yoda didn't need to have his little heart attack moment there. Ah, my books!
You know what I realized?
What?
He kind of sucks. He didn't know the books were in there.
He's a ghost.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like...
He's not a fucking wall whisperer.
No, but, like, I don't know, like...
I mean,
Luke,
as a
all
dude,
that
as
he
a
thought
ghost,
was
he did fucking call lightning
Luke
and
knew
fucking...
that the books were in there.
Does it bother you that the ghost can call lightning, or do you not give a shit?
Dude,
lightning?
Force
Well-
lightning is totally a thing. So
Okay.
it's
No,
probably
no,
like...
Well, no, because
I heard
because
complaints
the whole
about
thing
that.
is when,
I'm fine
when you
with it.
become one with the
Yeah.
Force, you are the Force.
No.
So since Yoda was so Force sensitive,
Right,
him still being a ghost and him being able to summon himself after how many years of him being dead,
right.
him calling a little bit of lightning to strike a tree. Get over your fucking selves, people.
Exactly.
It's fucking Yoda.
It's also
He
Star
became
Wars.
a ghost. A ghost. He shows up whenever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, I that didn't bother me.
I'm not gonna lie though. I need to see Obi-Wan Kenobi, Force Ghost next movie. Ewan McGregor, please.
Like an old McGregor, though?
Yeah,
That'd be dope. That'd be amazing.
I need that.
Like,
Just-
like, how I picture the next one ending is Rey starts a little academy.
Right. And then
Whole
standing
cer-
over his
whole
shoulders
ceremony
like Luke,
is
Obi-Wan,
Luke,
Yoda.
Obi-Wan, fucking Yoda. Hey, who knows? Maybe some Qui-Gon.
She starts.
Maybe old Anakin.
Yeah, that'd be
She
cool.
she starts in the academy. The fucking Tauntaun Schulmans.
Did you just fucking get out? Get out!
Hit a fucking tiger shoulder. You're a piece of shit.
Tauntaun Schulmans.
But
What's the currency in Star Wars again?
Republic credits.
Yeah, credits. Well, it's just
50
credits.
Republic credits. You get fucking 4
Like for
lessons.
500 credits a month, you get Jedi lessons. Want a Force push? 500
Moving on,
credits.
please.
Tauntaun
Can we talk about the
Schulmans.
best character in this entire
Was Kylo Ren?
series?
Rey
Yeah. No.
Ben.
I was gonna say just Kylo Ren. In
I
general
thought
is
Rey
the
and
best
Kylo
most
were the
compelling
most
character.
But Kylo,
I love how everyone gave a shit about the shirtless scene with Ben.
Yeah, a lot of people were talking about that. They're like, he's built like a barrel.
And they're like, well, why did he need to be shirtless? Because when they were doing that,
because he was
whole-
fucking home.
Well, no, because like Ryan
They
Johnson
weren't really in control
said
of those
in
moments.
one of the interviews, because he was asked about that, was when they were having those talks, he wanted to reassure the audience and the people that were watching like that they could actually see each other.
Right.
So that's why he had the shirtless scene. And she went, "Oh, what? Put some clothes on."
Right.
Like they
Because
could
they
actually
weren't
see
in
each
control
other.
of those moments.
Yeah.
No,
It's
Snoke
Just-
was, right?
Yeah, Snoke was the one who was just like, all right, you guys are on.
Severus,
You guys are on the line.
Skype call.
Severus Snoke.
But yeah, I would say
War
that.
savings.
Like, I was going to say before I was so rudely interrupted.
It's a great line.
My Kratos hammer. What the? I'm gonna say that next time I see a sale.
But, what was I saying?
I wish he was in
What
a
the
Star
fuck was
Wars
I
movie.
saying?
What if he was Snoke?
Oh my god,
If he was still
The
alive
fuck
and
was
he
I
was Snoke
saying?
and he voiced Snoke,
that would be
that would
awesome.
have been gold.
General.
General.
Where is Skywalker?
I was trying to say, and I don't even fucking remember anymore now. No, that everybody who complained about Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens
Being a
pretty
crybaby
much
bitch.
needs to fucking shut the hell up now.
Yeah, it's character development.
Exactly.
He was so much
Yeah,
better
he was a
developed.
whiny, snivelly bitch in the first movie, and that's fine. You know why? Because he's not always gonna be that way. Proven by this fucking movie. This character was written so well. He has so many fucking dimensions to him, and like, he's a fully realized character now.
Yeah. And
If
pretty
anything, he's Luke. He started off whiny.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to get power stations and touch things.
Yeah, and then
shut up.
And then just picture like an old Italian man watching Star Wars. I just want to get to the shut up. So, no, he started off whiny,
Right.
and this one he learned,
Took control of himself.
He takes
Right.
control, but he loses against somebody more powerful than him.
Exactly.
Luke.
Right. And we'll get to that moment in a bit.
Yeah, he
And
lost his dick. I'm kidding. He didn't lose his dick.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
I didn't mean to say that because you know, like the
But
hand.
like, it still leaves the character in a place where you don't.
He
know
still has
if
room
he's-
for growth.
He still has room for growth, but
He's
you don't
not gonna turn
know
good,
if
by the
he's
way.
full dark side
He's full dark
or
side
if
at
he's
this point.
or if he's light side, because he still at the end of it still has that conflict in him,
I mean,
which
I'm gonna
still
say
kind
this.
of perturbs me because I'm like, dude, just pick a fucking side. It's like red versus blue, my dude.
I feel like you're definitely right about the end of the next movie. I just think you have the character wrong. I still think we're going to get the double switch.
Well, Rey's gonna turn bad.
Because what the fuck was the whole point of that scene with her and Luke where he's like, there was whatever the hell that was, that fucking dark side pit or whatever.
Oh, you mean
he's
I
like,
think
oh,
I
you
know.
went straight for it.
You
but
mean
like,
the
I think
the
I know
butthole?
exactly. Like
That was a butthole, by the way. That was a butthole.
because the planet's
I-
butthole.
It was the planet's
this poopy
butthole.
butthole.
That was the dark side
But,
butthole.
What I really think about, because I played a lot of Star Wars games,
Jesus
I
Christ.
really dive into like the Star Wars lore and everything.
Bad.
What I think Rey is becoming is a perfect combination of light side and dark side.
So, great
So
Jedi.
basically, what Yoda is. Yoda's able to use Force Lightning,
Yeah,
and he's
true.
even said it before. He's like, I just don't use it. He's like, I know the dark side's there. He's like, I just control it and use it when I need to.
That's a good
He's
point.
like, I just lean more towards the light side, but he's like, I'll still fuck you up, bitch.
exactly.
He's like, I know your abilities, because pretty much like the way in, what was it, Clone Wars, when he got shocked with the lightning
Oh,
from
yeah.
Dooku.
okay.
The only way that someone's able to really manipulate that, if I'm maybe fucking off with it, but is if you have knowledge of using Force Lightning.
Right.
Because pretty much the only way to block it is with a lightsaber at that point. And which he was able to reproject
Yeah,
it
he like
back
caught
at
it in
Dooku.
his hand and pushed it
Yeah.
back.
So I think Rey is going to find that balance of light side and dark side. And when they have their epic fight, she's going to do some shit and he's going to be like, what the fuck? And she's going to be like, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of force, like a lot of new force abilities that are showing up in this trilogy. Like, you know what?
Naughty force powers. Skype calls.
I was
You
gonna-
get Skype calls,
You got-
floating in
You
space.
get force shake, force interrogate.
What
Yeah,
was- oh, yeah.
Yeah, where she went shaky shaky. He's like, I can read your thoughts.
yeah, and then there was
He
like,
was tickling her feet.
and then there's like that really.
And I like that.
I was gonna say, and then there's like that really cool like force hold that they've been doing lately, like the one where from the first movie where
Oh,
he
where
shot
they
the
just-
blaster ball. Just,
Yeah.
It made that sound, too.
yeah.
Like, and like I understand like a lot of people want force abilities used and all that, but you kind
It's
of
about the characters.
yeah, it needs to be like obviously better lightsaber scenes and all that. Like
You
I
know
mean,
what's
this
funny?
one had two really good
this one,
ones
yeah.
no
this one
lightsabers
really-
touched.
in this movie. At
I
all,
don't
yeah.
think.
Oh.
I was thinking about it. That's why
No,
people. That's why
it
people
was all
were mad.
vibro weapons.
It was
Yeah.
all vibrators.
Yes.
No, not vibrators. If you fucking knew anything, it's vibro blades
Oh.
are the only things that are able to stop Jedi lightsabers or just
Oh.
lightsabers. in
Oh, so
general.
you're saying Captain America can fight them? Yeah, you know, with his...
That's vibranium. You should kill yourself immediately.
I need
You didn't
new
like that?
batteries for my
Somebody
vibrator
get
sword.
this.
Somebody get this man a vibrator. He's like,
Oh, I was like the fucking lady, man, letting me in. Get
But,
this man in a dump ticket.
But
I was like, fuck
but that
you!
was like that was like the great thing, because in all of the old ones you always saw the royal guards,
Right.
but the royal guards never did anything.
Right?
And the second, what was it, that Rey or Kylo tried to do anything, you saw them like snap
Yeah, they're
immediately,
like, all right, motherfucker. Wow.
because like in the
Yeah.
lore, they describe them like they're really like battle hardened, like warriors and everything. They don't use lightsabers; they use vibroblades,
Right.
or vibroblade technology. And then finally in this one, they show it off, and I was like, "This is fucking badass!" I was like, "Finally!"
That whole fight
You know
scene
where I
was
get
actually
my
really
vibrator
awesome. A lot of people complained
swords?
about that fight scene too, with the Praetorian
I don't
Guards.
understand why.
I thought it
They
was
should
really
fucking
good.
kill them.
Maybe it
themselves
was the slow
immediately?
mo that killed it for some people. It
Slow-mo?
didn't bother me. There was slow mo.
Really wasn't like fucking that slow.
They were moving slow.
I don't know. I don't understand the.
They were
complaints
moving
about
slow.
that.
They were
trying
moving
to
slow. 1
emphasize-
star.
They were trying to emphasize the action, like
The fluidity.
They weren't doing fucking Michael Bay slow mo like every 2
Yeah.
seconds.
No.
But they were trying to emphasize like obviously how quick they were moving and how they were reacting to it.
Exactly, because if the
So it
fight had
makes
gone
sense.
down at the exact if it had gone down in real time, it would have been like what 30 seconds.
Yeah, the fight scene probably would have lasted a minute.
Yeah, to make the movie longer.
Because in all actuality, it needs to show how Force users and like
No,
battle
Force
warriors
users.
actually move.
Yeah.
Because if that was the case, you would have had what episode 1 fight scene in 30 seconds.
Yeah. All right, moving on to probably the last and biggest moment. The showdown.
Luke dies!
No, he doesn't. You fucking dickhead.
He becomes one with the Force.
He
He
dies!
doesn't die.
He gives up his body for 47 virgins!
Because I literally, the second the movie ended and the credits rolled, the lights
Aw.
came on, I heard over my shoulder probably at least 5 times, "Oh man, Luke's dead." Shh. All right,
I wonder
you
what
clearly
that
don't know
looks
Star
like.
Wars,
Right.
and you clearly don't know what dying is. So please gain some knowledge, or just don't watch Star Wars movies.
No, but I was gonna say, thinking back on that whole showdown,
That was so great.
I was kind of
Even
annoyed
as
about.
an apparition.
Yeah.
You saw how he was moving.
I was gonna say, when we were in the theater seeing that scene, I was kind of annoyed with it, just because it was like, oh, okay, so he wasn't actually there, and now he's gone.
That was a
But-
great ability.
No, but you know what I noticed? Because I thought on it, and I was like, wait a minute. Remember that scene where they're getting ready to fight, and you see Kylo slide his foot in the dirt, and you see the red, he kicks up the white sand,
Yeah.
and then there's the red dirt underneath. Did you notice when Luke did it, nothing happened?
Yeah.
It's because he wasn't fucking there.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was
I-
awesome.
It's stuff like
It's
that. I'm
little
like,
details.
that. More of that, and less. All right, tell him I have a message for his mother.
Yeah, I liked it because when you become one with the Force, you shouldn't even have to use a lightsaber. At
Exactly.
that point. He didn't use it.
Nope. Because notice when he came back to fight Ben, he had the blue lightsaber.
Yes.
Why the fuck would he have that if they just fucking destroyed it? Literally 5 minutes ago.
You see, if I had that ability, I would have the General Grievous to
Yeah,
all the fucking
'cause
sabers.
obviously, again, it's another Force ability shown in a movie that's never been done, and it shows
Right.
how strong Luke Skywalker is in
and
the Force.
people hate new.
Yeah.
So,
of course.
this guy is planets, half a galaxy away, summons a full physical apparition that you cannot tell the difference,
Exactly.
and clashes with Ben until Ben decides to go, well, I think you're gonna die, and he's like, do it, bitch. And he turns around, he's like, wait, what? He goes,
I'm gonna poke you.
bye, and just dissolves. Really? That's pretty fucking badass.
Yeah, that was probably that and the fucking
That's like me showing
that
up to
and
your
Laura
house
Dern's
and then just
big
dissolving.
moment. That was cool.
It was, man. There was, like I said, this movie is.
There was a
flawed.
lot of good shit that
It's
happened
flawed,
in the
but it's
movie,
good.
but
And-
there's
and
a lot
I
of
get
flaws
it.
too.
People really wanted to see Luke Skywalker shine and fight and everything, because I'm pretty sure there are people that have read the books, how badass he actually is and how fast he can actually move. That slide, that's legit how fast he can move.
Yeah.
It from the lore, even being that old.
I guarantee if you would have seen a Mark Hamill fighting CGI wise
Would've
or
been
whatever,
bad.
everybody
Yeah.
would have bitched about it.
Yeah. So
I'd
obviously-
rather the
obviously-
chill old guy. Look, I'm fine. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
Mark
here.
Hamill's old. he did something really cool with the Force. Awesome. You don't need him no more.
That's it.
Have him come back as a Force ghost.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to wrap this up.
In the next one, have him teach Rey how to put the fucking lightsaber together.
Yeah.
And then...
I mean, if anything, I feel like Rey's probably going to end up with the green lightsaber somewhere down the line.
She should get a pink one because she's a girl.
I'm pretty sure, like, the last movie should really just be Rey and Ben build up, Rey getting trained some more from Luke's Force Ghost,
Right.
and just surprising the shit out of Ben when they fight. Like, pretty much even matched until she's like,
Actually, I know a little more than I'm letting on.
actually, I did some math while I was gone. I'm really good at math.
It'd be a good ending though if like it kind of like at the end like the camera backs up and you see where the studio's at and everybody's just laughing. Just to piss people off even more.
All it needs to do
Fucking
is like
blazing
they're fighting
saddles.
and then she just goes into a fighting stance that just hasn't been used by Jedi in like millennia.
Yeah.
And he's just like, what the fuck is that? And just ruins him.
Final thoughts?
Enjoyable, but flawed. That's all I
Right.
gotta say.
It has its flaws. It's all over the place. Subplots were shitty.
Yes.
Yeah.
The main story between Rey and Ben
That was the
really
most
good.
interesting, yeah.
I'd watch it again. I'd have no issues
I'd watch
watching it.
Yeah,
again.
I was
for
going to
sure.
say, I definitely want to see this again in the theater. Definitely going to, watch it a shit ton of times when it comes out. It is, like we've all said, it's flawed, but that
Star
doesn't make
Wars.
it bad,
Yeah.
I know we kind of leaned into it a lot, but there's nothing wrong with criticizing the things that you like. That's how you get better movies.
Yeah, I mean, even after criticizing it, I kind of like the movie more.
Yeah,
Because it
at
made me
first I was-
it made me realize what I really enjoyed about the movie and where it could go. So I'm like, all right.
I wish this worked with Transformers.
right?
Transformers is garbage.
No, I was gonna say,
That was a
going
piece of
into
shit.
this, I wanted to give this movie like a 6.5, 7, but after having talked to you guys about it, I realized that I liked it a lot more than I anticipated. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah,
What about you?
that was pretty much what I was going to give it, a 7.5.
7.5. Okay. I'm gonna give it. No, I'm gonna give it a 6.5 because you got to look at the. I look at the movie as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
The subplots are still part of the movie,
Yeah. that's
so
true.
I like the movie.
But the good shit is so
the
good.
good shit is why it's not.
The
No,
good shit's so good, but
No.
the bad is so bad.
no, but the good but the good shit is why it's not a fucking 4
Yeah.
or
Oh,
a 3.
That's a good point.
So it's a 6.5. Like, I really liked it. I'm pretty sure with more repeat viewings, I'm gonna like it. The grade's gonna. I know the grade's gonna
Yeah.
go up once I
Right.
watch it again. But because of the stupid fucking subplots and the I love, like the
Yep.
love can save us from Bobby Lee,
Yeah.
it's a 6.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not a bad rating. It's really not.
Like-
It's good. It's good. It's
like
not
really
great. It's
what
good.
they should do for the next movie is have your main storyline, focus on it, have one solid subplot. I trust you, JJ. One solid subplot, and you're Gucci.
All right. So, with all that being said, we're glad to be back. We will try and, stay more consistent, hopefully. We don't have a schedule, but we can tell you that we will be coming out with another review soon. So, stay tuned for our review of Bright, and we'll see you guys next time.